Mindset Mashup podcast. Here we are. Happy New Year if you're listening. We back, baby. And do you know what? I'm excited. I'm really glad to be back. Because what people don't know is that the podcast that come out last year, all cameras going a bit crazy. The podcast that come out the end of last year actually recorded in November. So it's been, what's going on with the camera? So it's actually been about 2 months since I recorded. So I'm really glad to be back. And listen, guys, last year was a big one. We've got some plans for this year. We want to become better. You know, that's the aim for all of this. That's the whole aim of the platform. Becoming better, being more, being better. And today, to help me address that topic, is a lovely lady. Really excited to chop it up. Actress. Her name is Anneka. Anneka, welcome to the Mindset Mashup podcast, and thanks for being here with me on the first one of the year.
Thanks for having me.
Do you know what? It's absolute pleasure. So, let's get stuck in. So, actress. So,
Yeah.
was that a dream from young, or is that something that you've grown into?
You know, it was one of those things where I didn't want to be an actress, but it was like growing up, like let's say being young, I wanted to be so many things. I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a barrister, then I wanted to be a colorist. Ask me what colorist is, I don't know. But I was just copying what other friends wanted to do. And I thought, oh, that sounds cool. And I would say from going into, let's say, primary school, I was doing a lot of performing arts. So let's say getting involved in performances for like Black History Month. And I thought, okay, I like performing. I'm confident. I'm not afraid of the stage. And then from there, that's where, let's say, the burning desire of being an actress came from.
What was that? See, I find it so amazing when people find their strength so young, because I think I nurtured my strength. I mean, I'm still nurturing it. We all are, right? But I think I've only sort of fallen into it fairly recently.
Okay.
When you have a gift I sort of identify with a gift from a young age,
Yeah.
were you like, yeah, this is what I want to do, or did you try to do other paths? Because you mentioned a few different things there.
Yeah.
When did you go, now this is the one that I'm going to go after?
I would say secondary school when I was
Second.
in year 11. Yeah, no,
Mm,
yeah, no, year 7, not year 11, year 7.
nice. Yeah.
And literally, that's when obviously you're introduced to, drama, music and stuff. And I was just like, wow, what is this? So I thought,
Mm.
okay. And then doing productions and doing small little shows, Macbeth and all of that. And I thought, okay, this is something I really want to pursue. So doing performing arts, doing my GCSE, that's a BTEC in National Diploma and all of that. I just thought, you know what, this is it. I want to go drama school. I want to, and then that's when I had that kind of desire, especially watching, let's say, shows out from younger age. So let's say the Real McCoys and
Mm.
all of that. Oh my gosh, Fools and Horses,
Yeah.
so all of those type of legendary shows that has helped me to be who I am, because I love comedy as well. So I do a lot of comedy, and those are the type of roles that I really like. So yeah, so I found out and I went with it. And I would say, like, my mom being Jamaican, she was just like, no, you're not going to be doing acting. You want to be a lawyer. And I'm thinking in my head, no, I know what I want,
Mm.
and from there, with the support, the little of support that my mom gave, I was so determined. So I got myself involved in a lot of after school clubs, dramas, drama courses and activities. So yeah, nothing wasn't stopping me. Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I like. And what I like, see, I love that. And the reason why I stopped them, because when I think that feeling of not stopping really comes when you come into your passion. And I think when you
Yeah,
find something that you're passionate about, when you find something that you like, do you know what? I actually don't care what stands in my
yeah,
way.
no,
It's mine. Like, I'm gonna get it. And
100%,
I believe when you have that mindset, it will come. It might not come in the form that we always expect it to come, but it will definitely come. And that's what I believe.
100%.
For you, when that unstoppable attitude mentality come from a young age, was it
Yeah.
developed? Did you not anything knock your confidence at certain points? What was that journey?
That journey, I would say growing up, especially in, Southeast London, Peckham, massive, toot, toot, toot. Um, I would say I was discovering myself, especially like, being a creative and, for me, I love Missy Elliott. So that was like my main kind of style dress code. So from being, from loving drama and all of that, I found that, being an actress, you can be creative. You can, that's the arts, that's the kind of, and I would say there was one teacher in secondary school, and he said to me, like, he was just like, yeah, the outfit that you're wearing is a bit, it's not really, he kind of just put me down. Not kind of, he did put me down,
Yeah.
which then made me was that I was thinking like, oh my gosh, so I'm trying to discover myself and the way how I dress and trying to fit in. And, growing up, you're trying to like not copy people, but be you, be your own product in that kind of sense. And I was a bit upset, and I spoke to a next teacher of mine, and her name was called Mrs. Hunt. And she said to me, Annie, don't watch what people say, because you're finding yourself, you're finding your identity. And people like that see who you are and see the gem that you are, they would do anything to break you down. So she said, you wear whatever you want to wear. If you want to wear an orange hat, wear it. If you want to wear pink shoes, wear it, because that's you. That's your identity. So so it's just those type of words, back in those days, it would kind of really have me down, where I thought, you know what, I'm not capable of it, or but at the end of the day, I'm only me, and I can't be other people. So yeah.
It's funny. There's so much I want to sort of unpack there. You mentioned about sort of the words that get said to us. And I
Yeah.
think as you get older, you realize the impact of some of these words, because it's so funny, isn't it? How something happened so long ago, it seems really small at the time, but then when you look back on it, it was sort of like, it wasn't like, I don't want to say it was like a substantial part, but you remember it, don't you? You're like, oh crap,
Of
like
course.
they actually said that to me. Like, how could they say that? And
Yeah.
I think words have got such a big part of to it plays a big part in what I think we believe we can achieve. And you
Of
said
course.
something on one of your videos, Anneka. You said, and I'm pretty sure it's sort of like from the Bible. You said like we speak into existence, and I know in the Bible it talks about
Yeah.
sort of life and death is like comes off the tongue. I probably butchered that, and I apologize.
No,
Sorry,
listen,
good.
no,
But
it
it,
makes sense. Yeah,
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 and I truly believe like the words that we say, like I'm always very careful now about the words that I use, because of even scenarios like that, because it changes the way you look at yourself, the way you view other
100%.
people, the way you believe
100%.
in your dreams. So like as you reflect on sort of like your journey to where you are now, how do you think language has played a part in what you've achieved and what you've done?
I would say, the languages, whether it was good or bad, I would say, coming from a really strong foundation, let's say within church, or for me, the church, that's my mum. My mum is my church, in a sense of
Mm,
where, she will pray me up, she will encourage me. Sometimes when I come home and she's like, Annie, use these words what these people have put onto you to make you stronger, to push you. And from when you get that certified talk from the mama, nobody can't say nothing to you. So through that, and through prayer, and through the worries and stuff, like my mom has been my counselor throughout the whole to this day. You know what I mean? So, if I didn't do well, I'll come home like, Mom, I didn't do well, because they said, it's okay, cool. We'll just know, say, if that didn't happen, God's got something in store for you. You know what I mean? Because what God says, what man says no to, God says yes.
yeah.
So for when you hear that, I'm like, you know what? So these are the things that has helped me to really go forth, because you know what I mean? Obviously, we're in competition with, people in the industry and stuff. And at the end of the day, like, I try to not allow that to phase me, because when you do, then that's when your mind starts to overthink. And when you overthink, then you start thinking, oh my gosh, am I even good enough? Of course you're good enough, because why would you be here?
And I love that, and I think it's such an important point. And I know there's a lot of talks these days, and a lot of people talk about sort of comparing yourself, and it's come up so
Yeah,
many times in the podcast. But I think like the biggest detriment is about comparing yourself is, again, comes back to what you believe. Like, just because he's 6'5" doesn't mean I can't grow. Like,
thank you.
I might not be 6'5", I might not be 6'5", but I could do my own growing. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
And I think we let their other people's narrative, other people's stories, other people's purpose indicate.
Yeah.
Sorry, not indicate. Um, determine the way that we want our growth to go to. And I think
100%.
it's so important that we sort of keep bringing it back to us. Like, I don't want to start labeling myself with,
No,
I can't do this, or I failed
no,
at this, I succeeded at this. I,
exactly.
I know the names that have been given to me. Not my George, not my name, but the other names that we
Yeah,
associate ourselves with, the labels and whatnot. So when it comes to, because that's another thing you spoke about on your videos, you spoke about how stop watching people, like stop
yeah.
watching people too much.
Oh,
Is that something that you feel has always been quite innate to you because of being around people like your mum and being in the
100%.
church?
100%. For me, I would say like literally growing up until to this day, it was a battle of watching other people. And like especially with the videos that I do, is not just speaking it to encourage people, it's for myself. And I have to
Mm,
honest. I have to, I have to take myself out of the comfort zone and be vulnerable and speak from truth because we're not seeing that today. We might be seeing it on one or two people, but for me, I'm just like, you know what? The end of the day is like, I spent the majority of my time focused on other people's blessings. And I'm like, you know what? God, like, why is this happening? Like, how come this person's got this job? Or do, 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 do. And I'm like, yo, while I'm focusing on them, I'm missing that opportunity,
me,
because God probably has something in place. But because I used my focus on Tom, Dick, and Harry, I've missed that bus. And
yeah.
then now when I come back to myself now, I'm like, oh, and then God's like, yo, I had this ready for you, but because you was focused on other people's blessings and because you were so envious and jealous, yeah, I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? You're thinking, okay. So I had to take myself out of that and be like, you know what, Annie, focus on me. And sometimes like you watch social media and people are like, yeah, look at me, I just booked a job. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be happy for them because in me being happy for them, I'm hoping that they'd be happy for me too. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's just we just need to stop focusing on other people because when we do, it can really entangle us into a thing of like, am I good enough? Or
Entanglements.
entanglement. Oh,
Do
we
you
don't
know,
want it. We don't
I,
want no entanglement. No,
I,
we don't.
I
You know?
come to I come to a revelation last year, and it was a deep one,
Yeah,
and it was, I think the biggest detriment about judging others isn't about what we judge them about. It's about what
yeah,
that does to how we view ourselves. Because, like, hear me out, right? So, if I'm judging someone on
yeah,
succeeding, or if I'm judging someone on failure, then I'm going to be scared to fail, or even worse, scared to
yeah,
succeed because of the
yeah,
way that I've judged someone else. Because,
yeah,
like, have you ever heard of the saying, "It takes one to know one"? So,
yeah,
if I'm thinking ill about someone,
yeah,
then when I go to do something that is true to me and my
yeah,
truth, then I'm going to be
yeah.
thinking, oh, but what if
Mm,
they're saying that because I
yeah,
said it? Do you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know if that hit, but that really like hit me because I was like, right. So when I talk about like, no, I can't think I said it to my girlfriend, and it's like judging people is not always to do about other people; it's to do with you.
No, yeah,
It's about
100%,
you. And it's
100%.
about what it does to you and your beliefs and the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you do stuff. And as you said, often what we want is right in front of us, but
It's
it's
clouded.
clouded by all the extra noise that we put in place ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And we ain't got time for that, man. And you know what? It's taken me a long while to get to this stage. And you know what? I put my hands up to it, but it didn't help me. It didn't get me anywhere. It just made me question myself. And then, and I guess obviously when you're on social media and you're looking and stuff, and for me, it's like any of my friends, my circle, my circle, whenever we win, like we celebrate each other. It's
Mm,
not even a thing of like, nah. Like if my brother said that Annie, I booked this job. I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? Like to the point where I'm bawling. Like
mm,
I'm bawling
mm,
like it's me, the one that's,
mm.
and that's love. And you know what? When God sees that, He's like, you know what? Because I see that you're happy for that person that you love, I'm gonna bless you with something.
Yeah, and the truth of it is, if that's your people, then you're
Yeah,
getting exposed to the same success. So when
yeah,
and what happens when you're exposed to success? Like what I've realized, I've spoken to some really incredible people like yourself over the last year, and when I'm exposed to more success,
yeah,
my views change of the world. So when you see
100%.
crazy things happen to the good people around you, you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
like.
Yeah.
That can be me. That could be me. And as you said, so we
Right.
can celebrate other people's wins because that
Yeah.
allows us to view a new light. That allows us to
100%.
celebrate. And yeah, that's good. I like that you said that actually. And
Yeah,
do you
man.
know what? I'm just gonna say it. That's something I'm really I'm gonna go OTT on that this year. I'm
We
gonna.
have to.
You have to. You actually
We
have to.
we have to, because it's one of those things of like, think of the times and those moments that you spend focusing on other people, and think about those times that God had things lined up for you in that moment.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're like, what? And God's like, if you can say, God, can you literally give me stats of the opportunities that you literally had waiting for me while I was focused on Tom? And when you see it, you're like, raw boy.
Time wasted.
Not even a refund, you can't even get a refund for
Nah,
that. You know
nah.
what I mean? So now you have to kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna learn from that, and I'm gonna grow. And that's the part of growth. You gotta learn, you gotta go through these things and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna do better. And that's the reason why I say, like, today might be a bad day, but you also have tomorrow to start again.
Yeah, yeah.
Fresh. So we have to also be kind to ourselves. We also have to be generous to ourselves and not be like, oh, why did you think like that, man? No, we ain't got time for that.
Just
So
move. Just
just
keep
move.
moving. Yeah, just keep
Keep
moving.
moving.
And I do believe that, and I think it's quite easy. And I don't know about you, but this definitely like feels true to me. I think it's quite easy to get caught up in that sort of mind
Yeah,
journey of like, oh, I could have done this, I should have done that, and it's just
yeah,
like, no, I didn't do it. Done. Let's move. Let's just
yeah. Let's
move on
move.
now, and let's just
Let's move.
But look, Anika, like, something that I've never asked on the podcast before. I mean,
Yeah,
like for you, you spoke about sort of like you said earlier the words "my truth."
yeah.
What do you think your biggest truth is? Like, what's like your truth? What's your yeah?
Wow. Wow. My biggest truth. All right. So my truth is, George, this is deep, yo. All right. So I would say from the bottom of my heart, my truth is just passion. Passion for people, at the same time, with the gift that I have, the passion and the love. Let's say, for instance, if someone's down or whatsoever, or I've got so much passion, I've got so much love that I really want to help that person to either, when I'm with them for that second, I want to leave them feeling, oh my days, I feel good now.
You and the left, yeah, I like that. So, and do you when I say like truth? So, is that your truth of the world? Like, that's you're like, I'm gonna leave this world better
Yeah,
than yeah.
listen, I want to leave. The fact is, like, for me, like, if my eyes shut tomorrow, yeah, I want I want people to be like, you know what? This girl had so much abundance, like a euphoricness about her that I ain't seen in
Mm,
anybody. You know what I
mm,
mean? Because for me, if I walk into a room, I bring energy. I don't even just say nothing.
mm.
And when you walk in, because it's like the moment you walk in, for me, I sometimes can be introvert, but extrovert in a bit. And for me, I like to observe. And people don't really realize, but I observe. I don't get into the whole chat, 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 chat. No, I like to just observe and whatsoever. And the moment that I'm like just observing the room and stuff, is like, then for some reason, it's like this energy just gravitates and people be staring. I'm thinking, what are they staring at? But it's the anointing. So for me, it's like wherever, like for me, I would say passion and light. Passion
Passion.
and light. That for me, passion and light. Those are those two things.
Mm.
Those are my truth at the moment. So for me, it's just like in anything that I do, I just want to be honest. I want people to just not see when things are going well. I also want to see when I want people to see when things are going not so well. Because all we see on social media is things are going really well. Not once, or probably 1 in 10 chances you might see someone put up a vulnerability to say, you know what, things are not going so well today. And we need to see more of that, because there are other people that are going through things, and it's like they're thinking, oh, so it seems like the whole world is going through good things. Like,
Mm.
and it's okay to say things not going well. I will say it straight. If I want to go on social media, I'll bar. So
Yeah.
people feel the pain. I'll be like, you know what? I feel you. And they will respect you more. But when it's like, oh yeah, like, come on, like, people are going through things, and that's the reason why I'm just doing these videos, to be like, you know, I want to help people, because whatever I'm saying is helping me, because I go back and I watch my videos straight. I watch it,
Yeah, good for you.
you
They're
know.
sick. They're good as well, and they're important messages. And I just, do you know what? As you were saying that, in my mind, I was like, I can't believe we everyone knows about like failing's good. Everyone knows that now. Like that's out there. But I still can't believe that we still glorify success when we know failure is the key. So
Yeah,
we're much less likely, and that's what I find amazing about the people that I've managed to interview, like
yeah,
yourself, where I like the platforms. It's good now, but it wasn't, and people like coming in when but it had nothing to do with the numbers
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
it's got nothing to do. It never has had anything to do with the numbers. It
yeah,
does
yeah, yeah,
have nothing
yeah,
something to do with numbers, but on the inside it doesn't. Like my inside, I haven't changed. I
yeah,
haven't changed since the numbers, and I can't believe we've sort of we know this. As I said, it's common knowledge
yeah,
that failure is part of success and not the opposite to it. And I just don't know why we don't celebrate it more. Because
yeah,
if someone that I know,
yeah,
like Anneka, if you come to me and was like, George, look, I tried this thing and I sucked, I'd be like, that's sick. I was like, that's actually sick that you've gone out
yeah, yeah.
there, you've done
At least you
something that you
tried.
didn't want to do,
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna do it again. Like I'm
yeah.
gonna do it
But
again.
George, can I actually say, like, I'm going to share something, and this happened a few minutes before we came on. So I was booked to do a job, yeah, booked, penciled, everything, yeah, for Saturday, for Sunday, Monday, and I'm like, yep, boom, 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 gonna do it, can't wait. Then I get a message from my agent, pencil release, just before I came on here, yeah,
Mm.
and I was just like, okay, well, you know what, it is, you know, because you know God is saving me something. God is saving me for something bigger and better. And you know what, it would have been a wonderful opportunity, but you know what, something might pop up. And I was like, Mom, I didn't get the job, you know. She was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, because sometimes, usually it would have been like, back then I would have been like, oh my days, I think, what, am I not good enough? Am I
Mm,
not? And I start feeling down. And you know what, like for me, I was just like, you know what, Annie's fine, you know, it's fine. Just before I came on, you know,
that's
and I was just like, you know what, this ain't gonna get me down. Why? Because I know that there is more than one jobs opportunity that will come my way for this year. That's
yeah,
just one of many.
yeah, and it's not. It's like going back to. It's not your name. Your name isn't just that job. Your name is your like you. Your
Listen,
opportunities out there. Do you know?
listen,
Like, do you know what I mean? And I think it's so
listen,
important. And so
listen.
where's that come from? Where's that like? So this camera's going. So the resilient side of things.
Yeah,
Obviously, that I feel like in your industry. Sorry, I don't know what's
yeah,
going on with my camera. In your industry, that is. To be fair, in any industry, period, that's the most important thing. Like you need the resilience
yeah,
for you. You spoke about gratitude. You spoke about God, which is definitely that's definitely part of my life. You spoke about
yeah,
faith in your videos.
yeah.
What are these the things that have made you resilient? What's contributed to being resilient and coming literally from a rejection into the podcast, bringing in energy? What's created that?
What's created that is my purpose.
Mm,
I know my purpose. And I came into 2023 like, you know what, Annie? When things is not going to go your way, just know that things is lined up for you. And the way how I say it is this, and the way how I like to say it is this, is that God is a director. We are the actors on the stage.
yeah,
He's written out the script. All we have to do is just trust, you know. So like a director and an actor has to trust a director when giving stage directions and all that kind of stuff. And we have to trust God, because God has everything. God knew this was going to happen. God knew I
mm,
wasn't going to get the job. He knew.
mm,
But for me as human, as Anneka, I was just like, you know, I know my purpose, you know, and at the end of the day, I know what God has in store for me. So I'm even more excited for what's going to happen,
yeah,
even though I didn't get it. And I'm not going to lie, like, if this was me 2 years ago, I would have been upset. I would have been like, you know what, bun this. Let me just go Nando's, or let me just buy
mm,
a drink or whatsoever. But I'm like, no, because at the end of the day, it's like we've been through so much like not directions, rejections, not only just acting, but in certain opportunities, job opportunities, life and all that. And we have to just learn from it. And, what doesn't kill us make us stronger. So for me, it's just knowing my purpose, knowing my worth, and just knowing that, what, I've had opportunities with this company, and what, probably it's time for me to be like, what, God has something ready for me. So it's like God knows that this was going to happen because why? He's the director, he's the writer, he knows the beginning, the middle to the end. We don't know anything. All we have to do is just trust him, trust within ourselves, and know, what. So that's the resilience. So these are the things that's helped me to really. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, because me talking like this, I'm like, okay, because whenever I talk, as I'm talking with people and encouraging, I'm also taking it for myself. Because a lot of people like to encourage and they don't take it on for themselves. Because it's just like, what can you take from what you've just said? And they were like, oh, I don't know. Because as I'm encouraging them, I'm encouraging me. Because as I'm putting life into other people, I'm also putting life back into me. So I'm like topping up that jar.
And that's how it should be. Like I always say, I think, well, we all know that you can't serve from an empty cup.
You can't.
You have to be on overflow. Not you can't even have. You have to be on overflow. And God provides that. God provides that for us. That overflow. But what I like about what you're saying is that what you say, the words that you speak, so we know words can speak life or death. And you say you're not just speaking life into people, you're speaking life into yourself, which I can definitely resonate with. And
100%.
like as I said, this podcast has been around faith, which I love. I'm a man of God. I've accepted Jesus Christ, and for me, definitely that's an important part of my life. That's why I can keep going. That's where I believe that I get my strength from. But you said earlier about that we just need to trust, and I agree with that. And I'm hearing in my head, like, and I'm seeing as well Christians being like, all we do is trust, and I believe that there needs to be an element of action, and I know for a fact that you take action. So I want you just to touch on, when you say trust God, what's your process when you go, yeah, I'm gonna trust God, or I'm gonna trust the process, or what do you do in those times?
So what I do in those times is, for me, I'm reading more. So reading more for my own mind. So let's say to build my mind. So sometimes my mind can be weak. And when I mean weak, I need to strengthen it. So like when you go gym and you're pumping weights and you're building up the core, you're building up the bicep, all of that. My gym for me is reading, because knowledge is power, and it's like reading things that will help me to strengthen my mind, my soul, my whole being, What I'm also doing is affirmations as well. So those affirmations where I try to focus on affirmations that, action affirmations, telling myself, I love me, and all those type of stuff there, like spending time with the inner Annie, because those are those things where we kind of neglect ourselves and we say, you know what, you got to trust. And those things that, okay, Annie, you got to trust the process. Okay, how can I do that? For me, it's praying more, because most of the times it's like, I find I don't really connect with God in the way how I should. And I'm like, okay, let me retrack. Let me get back. Let me read a little verse. Let me pray. Let me listen to some music to kind of elevate my spirit, elevate my mind, that kind of stuff there. So, and things that I would need to help with, let's say, my acting, if I'm struggling on sight reading, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a learn a monologue, and I'm a just practice. So kind of fine tuning my skills in order to, when I'm going up for things or whatsoever, there's no struggle in that kind of sense. So that's my kind of action, because it's just like, action speaks. But when you have the truth, you got you, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's a for me it's an all-rounded kind of thing. So for me, to action is just obviously praying more, focusing on myself, and just meditating, affirmations, as I said before, and just bettering me in order to get to where I need to get to, and for God to obviously see, because in order for you to want things from God, God has to see you take a step as well, because we can't always be expecting to do all these things where, he wants you to also play your part, because he wants to see how dedicated you are and if you really want it.
Yeah, and I
So
think I like what you said there, because what I've heard is you go away, you do the inward work, and
yeah,
then once you feel like you've done the inward work, you filled out your cup, then you go out there and get to work on what you need to get to work on.
yeah,
So that's the action, and I think, and I can definitely resonate with that, because I think you said it earlier. We often look for external fixes rather than internal fixes,
yeah.
and we know internal solutions fix external solutions. Sorry, external problems. So I can definitely resonate with that. And look, I'm gonna bring this to an end. As we
Yeah.
sort of bring this to an end, what I don't want to say advice. What would be something for you that you're taking into 2023, which you feel would benefit others on their journey to what they're trying to achieve, on what they desire, and what they're trying, yeah, on what they're trying to do?
I would say for me is taking time for yourself. Taking time for yourself. It's okay to take time out, because it's the way how things is like around us is so busy and everything, and it's like we need to take time for ourselves to really chill, relax, and to really just meditate, spend time with ourselves to, take ourselves out. When you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
date, take yourself out, show more love to yourself, because most of the times we neglect ourselves. And when you start doing that and you show more love onto people, then like your own self is like, okay, so why are you not showing love onto me? So I would
Mm,
say this year is spending more time in loving myself, in treating myself, and not so much as buying things and all that kind of stuff there, but focusing on writing, you know what I mean? Doing journaling, praying more, reading more, spending time with family, at the same time spending time with self, going for walks and just talking to self, because you are allowed to talk to yourself.
yeah,
You
you
don't
are,
need to
man.
be crazy.
I
You
do
do
it.
not need to be crazy,
Yeah, 100%.
and you have to encourage yourself, because it's also, yes, it's good to get encouragement for others, but you also need to encourage yourself. Like, you know what, Annie, it's okay. You didn't get this job, but you got this. Okay, all right. Read Psalms 23. Read it. Just read it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it might seem crazy, but to honestly, that's gonna be me 2023. 100%. So yeah, so we just got to just encourage each other, man, and just encourage ourselves no matter what.
100%. And yeah, it's definitely okay to chat to yourself as well and encourage
Yeah,
yourself. You got to. And because listen, we said it at the beginning of the podcast. I think this conversation started with life or death is. Oh, I need to get that quote, but life or death is spoken off the tongue, and
yeah,
I truly believe that. And for anyone that's listening that may not be Christian or may not have faith,
yeah,
I want you to just focus on the language that you're using to yourself, other
100%.
people, because I promise you right now, it is impacting how you see yourself and how you see the world.
Yeah,
So, Anneka, where can people
yeah,
find you? Because you mentioned about creating videos. I've watched them myself. I enjoy
yeah.
them. So, for people that may not follow you, where can they find you? Where can they watch the videos?
So, guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Anneka_Goldborn. And yeah, check me out. I've got my Sunday motivations with Anneka G. I put them out weekly just to encourage everyone. So, yeah, check me out.
And those that are still here, we'll be back again. The 5 minute episodes will be returning again this year with some of UK's most known people, as well as the long form conversations as well. So look, just stay tuned. This is going to be a big year for Mindset Mashup, and whatever support that you can give, if you can just do me a favor, man, and just show the love. We're trying to do a good thing over here. So yeah, man. And if you're here for Anneka and you're not following me, go follow me at Real Talk George. And yeah, we're going to be bringing a heat. So yeah, again, Happy New Year. God bless you. We'll see you all real soon. Let's go.